Hi, brothers and sisters in Christ. It's Glenn back for another video. This video is going to be on a true story that happened, and I believe it's concerning angels. So the topic of today's video is angels. So with this story, it happened around 20 years ago for me, and here it goes. So I was working at a call center, and at the call center, I was a student, and at the call center, there were hundreds of people that worked there. It was a huge call center, and I had just pretty much started working there, and it was right on the other side of town, and I didn't have a car at that time. So as a student, I would take the metro transit. So I did this, starting off, and when I was taking the bus home after work, there was a whole bunch of us gathered around, and the bus came. And when I got on the bus, it was around, dinner time. When I got on the bus, I went and sat down in my seat, and I was near the front. And the bus was fairly full. Like I say, there was a crowd of people waiting to get on it. And the first thing that caught my eye was that there was a really cute blonde-haired girl, who was she looked to be around 8 or 9 years old. And she was completely alone. And that really stood her out. She was alone in the seat. There was no one with her. And, she wasn't sitting still. And I was thinking, here I am in a city. What parent would let their child, alone on a bus? I was thinking, this isn't safe for the child. And like I said, she had blonde hair, curly, and kind of, if you know who Shirley Temple is, kind of reminded me of Shirley Temple. Not exactly, but, reminded me of Shirley Temple a bit. And so anyway, the bus pulls away from the stop, and we're going. Now, I need to transfer, and I don't know which bus to transfer to. So I asked the bus driver, I say, what bus, do I transfer to go to such and such? And before the bus driver can answer, this little girl says what bus for me to get on, which now that you look at it, it's very strange that, she could have been 7 or 8 or 9. I'm not sure the exact age, but very young. And she knew the bus for me to transfer to. So I asked the bus driver. She answers. She's like, you transfer to bus 91 or whatever it was. And then he's like, yeah, you take that bus. I'm like, okay, thank you. And we're driving along. The little girl's still jumping on her seat and moving all around, not sitting still. Stands out like a sore thumb on the bus, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that is like, where are her guardians? Like, why is she alone in the city? And so anyway, we arrive at the bus stop where I need to get off to make my transfer. Now, it's important that you hear this part, because this bus stop, all that's there is this huge parking lot. It didn't look that old either. It looked to be a fairly new bus stop. And it was this huge parking lot. And the only thing in the parking lot was one bench. And it didn't even have shelter. It was just one bench in the middle of a parking lot. So I get off the bus. So I get off. There's another girl around my age. She was around 20. She got off, and she had, brown hair. And we got off, and then the little girl got off, which I didn't expect because I didn't think she'd be getting off. So she got off, and the bus closed the door and drove away. And I don't think too much of it. This story was, I did post this on Reddit before, and it was quite popular. And one of the comments were, she must have got back right on the bus. But she totally got off the bus with that other girl, and the bus closed its door, and the bus drove away. And we are in this parking lot with one bench. And at this time, I'm a smoker. And I walk probably 10 feet away to have a cigarette. And as I'm having the cigarette, I'm looking, I'm not crowding their space. I'm giving them space, and I'm just looking at my surroundings. And not a minute went by, and I turn around, and the lady, the girl, the older girl around my age, I see her looking around, and she's looking under the bench. She's looking everywhere. And immediately I know what she's looking for. She's looking for the little girl. So I start looking around, and I'm looking everywhere. And the face on the lady was, you could tell she was completely perplexed by it. It didn't make any sense. There's just one bench in the middle of this huge parking lot, and this little blonde girl is gone. And she looked everywhere. She looked under the bench. I could see her looking around. And I look around. There's no sign of her. I don't say anything to the other girl. But she could see I was looking. I could see she was looking. And it didn't make sense. So the bus that I'm supposed to transfer to comes by, and we get on it without the blonde girl, because she was not there. And I went and sat down, and then the girl that was at the bus stop sat down in front of me. And the bus drove away, and the girl in front of me is just shaking her head. And anyway, I kind of tap her on the shoulder, and I'm like, did that little girl just disappear? And she was like, yeah, she disappeared. And like, that's all she said. That's all we said. If, at the time, I probably should have got her number or something just to be able to talk about what happened. But it was unbelievable. And when I posted this on Reddit, people thought it was so creepy. They thought it was really creepy. They were like, that's a ghost. Anyway. Ghosts are demons. And this was not a demon. This little girl looked completely physical. There was no hint that she was not physically there. And so anyway, I told them, I said it was not creepy at all. Like, not in the least. So this happened almost 20 years ago. And I've thought, what was the significance of it? And if you haven't watched the video yet, we did Psalm 91. Now, at this time, I believed in God, but I didn't put my full trust in Jesus. So I thought, what is the significance of this? And the only thing that I could think of either was to reflect on it and strengthen my faith that we are protected, because as Psalm 91, excellent. It shows that God will send his angels to protect us. And if you think of the story of Lot, with Sodom and Gomorrah, where two angels showed up and they were in physical form to get them out of there before God's judgment came. But I've thought about it, and either it was just for, to show me, or maybe I was going to take the wrong bus. Maybe I was going to take the wrong bus and something bad was going to happen. I don't know. Because sometimes the most minimal decision can turn out to be very significant. So that's the only thing that I can think of. You can certainly share your thoughts. There was no missing girl or anything at that time in the news or anything like that. I'm telling you, this girl got off the bus with us in this huge parking lot with just one bench and disappeared like that. So I hope you enjoyed this story. And just remember that, yes, we are in Satan's world right now. Satan is God with a small g of this world. And there are demons assigned to each and every one of us. But if you have your faith in Jesus, you have the good angels as well. So you have the good angels protecting. You have God's protection if you have Jesus. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If you liked it, please give it a like. The more people that can see it, the more we can grow the channel. So thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye-bye.